Chapter 1. The Stress Model. Action without understanding only leads you back to darkness. B. Brian Post. Introduction. In each section to follow, you will find a definition of the problem behavior and then a perspective on each behavior from what we call a traditional view and a new view. As you read the new view perspective, it is important to keep in mind 4 key principles that create the foundation for the understanding and technique being offered. The full understanding of the 4 principles will enable you to understand and be aligned with the chapters that follow. It is also our goal that these 4 principles empower you as a parent to feel equipped to then apply the understanding and technique to your child with any behavior he presents to you. Our belief is that many of the things we do are based and driven by our understanding. The things we do are not done to be mean or intentionally cruel, but are done from the perception and understanding within us. Our actions are directed, guided, and aligned with core principles within our understanding. Everything we do can ultimately be traced back to the guiding principles from which we operate. Thus, it is imperative that you read and reread this section as often as possible to fully comprehend the recommended new perspective. Important point. Ordinary parents do the same ordinary things as all other ordinary parents and then expect extraordinary things from their children. Extraordinary parents do extraordinary things like other extraordinary parents, yet they don't expect extraordinary things from their children because they are already extraordinary from being raised in an extraordinary way. Here's a quick story to illustrate this point. I was once given a book called The Greatest Salesman in the World, written by Og Mandino. It is an excellent book that I highly recommend about commitment, perseverance, and truth. About 10 or so pages into the book, it goes into an examination of 10 scrolls. However, the book requires that you read each scroll 3 times a day for 30 days in a row before moving to the next scroll. How many people, having read that book, the book has sold 10 million copies, do you think have actually read each scroll in depth 3 times a day for 30 days? The scrolls are not even that long, but essentially it is a commitment to reading one book for approximately 300 days. Being willing to commit to reading all of the scrolls as prescribed is my opinion of doing something extraordinary. Read and then reread this chapter on the stress model before you attempt to fully delve into your understanding of the behaviors before reading the following 7 chapters. Yes, you are an extraordinary parent. A new view. 4 key principles. 1. All negative behavior arises from an unconscious, fear-based state of stress. Number 2. There are only 2 primary emotions, love and fear. Number 3. There is both negative and positive repetitious conditioning. We are all conditioned to behave in various ways, both good and bad. Number 4. Negative and positive neurophysiologic feedback loops exist beyond our conscious awareness. They occur at an unconscious physiologic level, and we have the ability to change or add to these feedback loops. The new view that will be discussed in this book is based on 4 key principles. First, all negative behavior arises from an unconscious, fear-based state of stress. Second, there are only 2 primary emotions, either love or fear. Third, there is both negative and positive repetitious conditioning. We are all conditioned to behave in various ways, both good and bad. And fourth, negative and positive neurophysiologic feedback loops exist beyond our conscious awareness. They occur at an unconscious physiologic level, and we have the ability to change or add these feedback loops. Let's take each principle and break it down. Principle number 1. All negative behavior arises from an unconscious, fear-based state of stress. It was once said to me that scared children do scary things. The simple truth in this wise statement is that while we believe that children are perfectly capable of making clear and rational decisions, we need to also believe the opposite, that children are incapable of making clear and rational decisions. In fact, stress research helps us to understand just that. In times of stress, our thinking process becomes confused and distorted. Not only are we